For those who know and for those who don't, I go by the name of Raf Saperra. I'm an artist hailing from southwest London, and I'm born and raised in a town called Stretton to be exact. I've been invited down by Bhangra Tape Deck to obviously speak to you lot and answer a few questions as well. I'm going to talk to them on the As much as I'd hate to kind of give you a corny, conventional kind of opening line about, music's been fairly prominent in my life since so and so years, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm a first generation immigrant baby. What that means is mum and dad were born over here and I was born over here. Basically, my dad's born in a parent called Unnichak, which comes under the district of Sargodha, which falls under West Punjab, Pakistan. And my mum was basically born and raised in Karachi, so she was a city girl in that sense. When you bring these two personalities together and then you drop them into the heart of South London at a time when this is an extreme minority, what I feel that does is your home life, your yard life is mad desi. Well, for me anyways, like all we used to speak at home was Urdu and Punjabi. I think we started chatting to like our siblings in English only like when we start clocking school and that. I was going to school still saying shit like binyan because I didn't know what a vest was. I swear down. Another thing is, being the youngest sibling of three, I was fortunate enough to have an eclectic upbringing in the sense that I was exposed to a wide range of genres and sub-genres in both cinema and music. Do you know what I'm saying? And being the youngest, I felt like I got to see a lot of different sounds from different generations. Do you know what I'm saying? So like we had a young mum and she come with her 70s groove. We had a lot of Kishore, Artie Berman, Bobby Lady playing in the house. Obviously like her dad, my nana, was a huge music head himself. And he had a lot of like the Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan stuff playing, a lot of the folk singers as well, like Allah Di Talune Ala. We had a lot of Sajjad Ali, he's not a folk singer, but still, another brilliant vocalist. And that's just like obviously my mum, then obviously like my brother, like to be fair, it was mad. Like we'd be listening to anything from Wu-Tang to Black Sabbath. My sister was heavy on like that kind of early 2000 Bhangra as well. Like, we have a lot of lember playing in the yard and stuff like that. But then outside the yard, living in, South London, my friends are from an Afro-Caribbean kind of background. What were we listening to? R.A., Gypset, bloody like Gigs, just anyone like popping at that time from. These are the days of Sony Ericssons and sending each other music by Bluetooth and infrared from. You weren't going online and downloading these tracks. And boom, right in the middle of all that shit was me. So my introduction to Punjabi music, I would say, was through the Dole. I naturally got myself into a Dole class, which is basically finding a needle in a haystack for anyone who lives in South London, So what started happening through Dole class, towards the end of the, when everyone would kind of go back, so who I was learning from, my brother Sims, he would have some of his brethren come down chilling afterwards when all the students left. And what would happen is, we're doing a jam or whatever, I don't know what it was, I just dropped a bully. It was a Bindrakia bully. And these men were like, yo, that's fucking fat, man, that's sick. And they rated it, so, I probably sounded whack, but, at the same time, that Allah Shiri, that encouragement was just me moving from, over here to maybe the next chamber. So they were like, yo, you got to speak to Ranj, go to Ranj. So, I think we just made a video. There was just a mic there. I don't even know if it was connected or anything. And I just started singing Jugga on it. He recorded it, put it on his Facebook. So boom, a few years down the line, I find myself at the Chaka there and get a video shoot. And I'm a huge fan of both True School and Gurpage Brar. Brar for me is, without, slight hesitation, one of the best Punjabi Desi vocalists alive on this planet. And that's not even slightly exaggerated. But anyways, so I'm a huge fan of these two. I found myself at the video shoot, but I think Gabi Hill was directing Chaka Dengue, and he recognized me from my man's Facebook, and he's like, yo, you sing, I saw that clip, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, word goes to True School, and in a very True School-esque manner, he goes, yeah man, go and sing something. And then, I don't know why, maybe it didn't even go down like this, but this is how I remember, but fam, it felt like the whole set went from their own little chit chat that they were having amongst themselves, and now everyone was tuned into this conversation. I swear to God, the room was tense, fam, some Tarantino shit. Everyone's watching, and I'm just in a situation, and just like, alright, cool, boy, I'm gonna say this true school right from it. I said, fuck it, boom. I done one bully. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was like a Bhangra bully or something like along the lines of like.
A few moments later.
Through one of the lads at the shoot, I was basically asked to do some bullying at a Bhangra competition known as Bhangra Showdown 2012. And for anyone who remembers that showdown, that most certainly was a showdown. I ended up doing bullying. I was fairly reluctant at first, but then what happened is I deep there, and it was just a thing about culture, fam. I was like, I'm really into this stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm a believer of God watches people's intentions. Man didn't really step on that stage to give it large or, oh, X amount of man and gal are gonna be seeing me. I was like, fam, if you wanna do this folk singing thing that you say you really wanna do, then you gotta do it properly, man. And when you do it properly, you gotta look at the forefathers, you gotta look at your, the legends that have done it. Like Gurdas Man used to be competing in Bhangra competitions. So the Bhangra used to be competing in Bhangra competitions. So he did like, yo man, if you want to do it, you got to do it like how these man done it, man. So we done an 8-minute set. I had no training. Oh God, I hope you lot don't find that video because I sound terrible. Probably still do, but bruh, then, Lord of mercy, something else. And then we done it. We won as well, but we won't get into that. Okay, yeah, next question. A question that's really been popping up on Insta is whose tutelage have I been under, have I been formally trained, who have I learned off, etc, etc. I mean, first and foremost, I would say I've had 3 ustads. First one being my mother. So she ain't formally trained or anything like that, but it's that kind of essence of not being, I think she made me able to digest the whole concept of I'm giving you something to practice, do this properly. And it weren't really in a soul wise, like, she didn't know rags or anything like that. But she would like give me random little Hindi gane, or even like any Punjabi tappe, and then she'd be there like, yo, like an Astai Antara, for example, she'd give me that, and then she'd be there like, yo, practice this. I don't really even know why she done that, to be totally honest, car. She would really brag me as well. She was there like, yo, do you want that game? Or like, do you want XYZ? Like, you want that shit on your birthday? All right, well, practice this. Looking back, I still don't know why my mum done that. But then I would basically do it. I'd go back to her with my lalchi head and I'll be like, yo, mum, listen. She was like, nah, man, you ain't doing it properly. Do that. Or like, or that tune's over. So then, all right, cool. I started doing that. But then after my mum, like formally, if I have learned off 2 ustads, out of respect, I just need to say this, like, it's a deep one and it's a really respectful one as well. So I wouldn't really want to come out here because I feel like I haven't completed a certain body of their tutelage to the extent for me to even say that I'm their shagird. I feel like it will probably bring my stars level a bit down. One day these days they'll, be learning from my man for a bit and just take a picture with matey and say, yeah, that's my star and whatnot. But I think you got to have a bit more respect than that for your stars, man. So out of respect, I won't be dropping their names. So my debut release was on an album released in January 2020 by the name of Pot Gobind Singh De, written by GS Nawepindiya, music done by G Funk. And I was featured on that album with some of the heavyweights in the Bhangra and like kind of Punjabi folk scene, man. Names including like Bakshi Billah, Sukhwinder Panchi, Ashok Gill, Amar Singh Litra, like, an actual shagird of Kuldeep Manak, man. As well as Panchi, of course. Kabishri Jatha was on it as well, and amongst all these like really heavyweights, there's little old me. I remember hearing the track first time around, and it's just, it's just bang, it got me, man. Because someone else was supposed to be singing this track, but I was like, nah, man, I'll practice this. I want to sing it. When something speaks to me, it is what it is, man, and I do anything I can to get that. If you haven't heard the album, definitely check it out. So it's a dharmic tape, and my track's called Mautanu Na Jave Khalsa, track 1.
So it's back in 2012, I was going through my Facebook and I saw that a certain Bhangra team had won a competition. From the photos, I realized that they had chosen to use someone to do live bolia instead of using a DJ to make a mix for them. I was intrigued, so I found the video and it was Raf doing bolia. Straight away, you know what, I rated the guy's tone and even the texture of his voice, if that makes any sense, the delivery, his beat keeping, and what he was trying to do. I thought it was very unique. So eventually I found him on Facebook and I messaged him to say, I go, bro, I really enjoyed what you were trying to do, and I think that if you ever learn, it could blow. Like you could do well for yourself. He really appreciated the comments. We exchanged numbers and we just used to talk about music on the phone hours on end. Obviously, even at that time I was trying to write songs. Then there was a gap between us talking because I got busy with university and he obviously just got busy with life. Then he hit me up last year before I released Santaji, which is a song I did with Ashok Prince and G-Funk. And he was like, yo, you kept the writing thing up. And I was like, yeah, man, like, what's your singing saying? And he's like, geez, I ain't done it for ages, man. But I asked him to sing on the phone and he still had the fire inside him. I go, you need to do something with that. So I gave him a couple of songs that I felt really suited him, his style and what he was influenced by. And he was like, what are you working on at the moment? And I go, I'm working on my debut album at the moment, which is an album called Pota Gobind Singh there. And I just started singing all the songs off the album to him. And when I sang Mautanu Na Chave Khalsa, he really rated it. And he goes, bro, if anything, I want to sing this first. And he goes, I just want to show my respect to the Sikh faith and the Shaheeds of the Sikh Qawm. And the way he asked, I couldn't say no. So he started practicing again. We had a very tight deadline. And he came down to Birmingham. I go, bro, there's no guide vocal. You've never ever practiced behind a mic before, like a recording mic. I just put a metronome on for him and there was a sustained note. And we recorded at Spacey's studio in Birmingham. So, you know what, big up G-Funk, but big up Spacey as well, man. Since then, we've done a few studio sessions together and the fire in Raf, the geezer sings off like D sharp and E for like 6 hours on end with just having like a minor water or a toilet break. So that, when that album came out, it went number 2 in the mainstream charts, which is the highest ever for a Punjabi album. And his track was the first track on the album. And I guess that was the start of Raf Saperra.
So, like many other hip-hop and grime enthusiasts, I too was caught by the rap bug. So what would happen is on Fridays, religiously, you know what I'm saying, Poomtang Fridays, the man would the rendezvous point used to be my brethren Marcus's, yo. And it's like there'd be about 14 to 15 of us, man, all just crammed into one room, one fucking beat on, and everyone was just barring. Like, I know some of the man that don't even rap that was sitting in there writing. It was sword play, you know what I'm saying? Everyone was in that room sharpening their swords. And because of the raps, I needed a name, man. That alias was needed, especially in a musical domain, for me personally. So there was a few names I was working through, and like nothing was really sticking. And you know, with me, obviously, I don't know if you lot remember, but the geezer wearing the Raw's folk top and the Chaka Day Nigga video was me. There was something about that album title that used to really resonate with man. To the point where I started even using it in my vocabulary, like, yo, that shit's Raw's folk, like, that's this, like. And I thought, like, I didn't really hear man say that, especially the man them in South that aren't really into Bhangra or that kind of sound. They weren't saying it, but now I'm saying it, I'm using it as lingo around people, and then it started kind of catching on, like, yo, Raf's Raw's folk, yo, my man's Raw's folk. And then the acronyms basically is Raf. So it was either between Raf and then I had a few other names. I was like, yo, got another name, Saperra. And I remember I was sitting on my brethren Kieran Veli at the time, and he was like, yo, I was like, bro, which one do you think it should be? Like, should it be Raf, should it be Saperra? And he just said it like very casually in a very Kieran-esque manner. He was like, fam, Raf Saperra, why don't you put both? And I said, do you know what? That's actually got a ring to it. So yeah, man, that's how I got that name. I just put a post out, man, of me singing a Durga Rangila track. Something along them lines. And it's like, man, them showed out a lot of love. To be fair, man, like between us, I actually had some material that was supposed to be releasing. And believe it or not, the video shoot was 2 days before Boris actually announced the lockdown. So I was like, should I post more videos of me singing? And the response was, yeah. So I just done it. The only reason I've kind of continued doing it is because I felt like this has been very organic. Like, I'm not saying man's there with 50k followers and like all this crazy shit, but it's like, it's been so organic in the sense that anyone that is following me is genuinely fucking with what I'm doing. And that's how it should be, man. So yeah, the filmmaking life, you know, it's not all cookies and cream, man, all movies, signing boobies and all that stuff. I don't know what they tell you. So I've been mainly working as a music video director full-time since, I'd say, 2019. I'm credited under the name of Adil Qureshi. Most of 2019 kind of focusing on our like British, UK domestic market. I've got to mention Rackstar, man. He really got that momentum moving for me. So a lot of people appreciate the work that we've done together. Yeah, man, it's like working with Dhami late last year, and Arjun was in the video too. So yeah, man, we're keeping active. It's a life that I keep completely separate from my music stuff. However, at the same time, it is highly influenced by my music stuff, man. It's like when I'm in that kind of headspace of working on films, or even when like I'm giving like a music video, like I kind of like to approach it. All right, cool. Like what dial or what rhythmic cycle is this in? Boom. You know, like you know, what scale is this in? What rag is this in? What kind of mood am I getting? And music has a huge influence in terms of how the visuals are orchestrated. You know, that visual literacy, it heavily comes from music.
I actually came across Raf, through videos. I saw a couple of videos he did for Rackstar and Dhami, and I was like, yo, I want to work with this dude. So I approached him for the song I did with Arjun, Running Away. It's interesting, man, because when you meet Raf, you don't really associate him to like proper Punjabi music because he's a British lad, you know, he speaks like us. I was just like, yo, he's just like me, like as in he's grown up in like a similar area in Handsworth kind of thing. He gets the lingo. He's really open-minded, and he's with the culture as well. So it was cool, man. It was cool working with him because straight away when I told Raf the direction of the song and what kind of visuals I want, he got it straight away. And I think you have to kind of be around that kind of vibe to know how to shoot that vibe. So I loved working with him, man. And he's actually working on a couple of other projects with me as well. He's just editing a Karan Ojla project actually for me. Do you know what? When I spoke to Raf for the first time, I remember him telling me, "Yo, I'm Mami Gonda." I was like, "Cool, man." I'm like, what's your inspiration? He was like, "Yeah, I listen to Marnik and folk music." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, man." And I was quite interested because I was thinking, like, I wouldn't associate with Raf with like Marnik. And I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but it's just I thought he's a proper South London lad, and I associated him to like listening to more, even the way he speaks. I just felt like he probably listens to more UK rap. Like, and I could see him listen to like Nines or Kano, for example. That's why I associated him with. But I knew he was a bit arty because I could tell the way he looks. He's quite arty. But yeah, it was nice. And also the thing is, I think it's a Midlands thing. I always associate Desi folk music and Punjabi, hardcore Punjabi music with the Midlands. I always thought that London was more about, you know, the urban stuff. That's the vibe in London. But obviously I thought he proved me wrong, man. So Raf told me, obviously, he sang. But I meet a lot of people, like, telling me, Bajima Gonda, I'm a singer. And not particularly from the UK, but a lot in India. And one day, normal day, just shuffling through like Insta, and a clip of him comes up. I'm like, what? Is that Raf? I did not expect that voice from him. That voice, man. I was pleasantly surprised, man, because I haven't heard that type of a voice in a while, man. Especially from the UK, if I'm honest. So I thought, yo, yeah, man, this guy's got something. So yeah, man, I just picked up the phone and just said, yo, that was sick, man. I'm excited for you, and I'm really excited for him, man, and his music career. Seriously, what advice can I give? Like I always say to him, man, just keep up with the practice, bro. And like the one thing I've been seeing a lot of recently is people changing as you know they get success. I just say, bro, just keep your feet on the ground, man, because that's what it's about. That's what being real is about, being true to the art form, and you can only do that if you're level-headed and you understand that it's a lot deeper than just becoming famous. It's about the music. So keep it about the music, and that will keep you level-headed and keep you grounded, man. But I'm excited for him. Like I said to you, Raf, you've got the potential to be the biggest UK folk singer, in my opinion. So I'm rooting for you, man, and I'm praying for you that you do that. So respect, bro.
Raf Saperra. I'm not really that calculated for me to sit here and say, I don't know. All I'll say is I'm not taking this music thing for a joke. You know, we're not just doing cover videos, we're working on releases. And yeah, man, it's like when the time's right now we're doing up COVID, we're doing this. Whatever this is, this weren't happening before, it's happening now. So, you know, you got to thank God for them things there as well. But if there is something that I can bring, what I feel is I would like to bring a sense of maintenance, or at least somewhat of a contribution towards the music that has come out of South. And when I say music, I don't just mean Punjabi music. That too, definitely, because I don't really know a lot of, you know, people like doing that Desi Punjabi sound from my side of town, my neck of the woods. And the worst part is there probably are people that are doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's about kind of building that dialogue, getting people out, letting them know there is a space. Even if there ain't a space for fucking paid Desi Punjabi music, we're gonna fucking make one. Because, you know, the response has been brilliant on Instagram recently, and I swear to you, I'm not really singing any, like, you know, commercial stuff as such, apart from one. But, you know, like, what I've been doing has been fairly Desi, and it's like, people are responding to that, youngsters are responding to that. I want to kind of bring this illusion away that, you know, like, the youngsters, like, the punters, whether they're from the Midlands, up north, London, like, we do fuck with the Desi sound, man. We just need to make some fucking Desi music. So that's what I'm trying to bring to the scene, if I can. We need to appreciate the kind of talent and the art that's come out of South London, and that's across all spectrums, man. It's like Charlie Chaplin, South Londoner. You know what I'm saying? Raymond Chandler, South Londoner. You know, Adele, South Londoner. We got Naomi Campbell, she's from Streatham. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, R.A., Giggs, Fat Nasty, you know what I'm saying, Gypsy, all of these, like, this is a catalogue that has been coming out. You know, like with other respected boroughs and other places in London, you lot have your own history, but I feel with that South history, Stormzy, of course, do you know what I'm saying? We got Dave, you know, we've got up and coming guys like, you know, 187, Ebbs No Stress, and apologies if I've left out any other like genres of music, but it's just, I'm going off the top. But at the same time, it's like, I want to contribute towards that pillar of music and make sure whether it's Punjabi music that I do, but it is of good quality. I don't really know what to say. All I'll say is we're gonna make some bad boy music, and if you fuck with it, say what's up if you see me around. But yeah, man, I hope that answered all you lot's questions, man. But you know, सारे श्रोतियां नूं तहे दिलों यार भंगड़ा टेप डेक नूं भी यार मैं बहुत धन्नवादी हां कि अज मेरे जिन माणे जे कलाकार नूं तुसां अज सद्दे इत्थे. So it means a lot, man. And inshallah उम्मीद करदे हां कि मेले होंदे रहणगे ते आपां मिलदे गिलदे रहांगे. ते yeah, man, मेरे वल्लों सलाम ते सत श्री अकाल. Peace. I'm chatting shit. Fit the fasting got to, man, still.